Right. So,
We have somebody that can take pictures then?
Oh, I
She
will.
wants,
I can take pictures, sure.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call our meeting to order. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner.
Here.
Trustee Zara. Oh, she left. Oh, I didn't see that. Absent. Trustee Council. Here. Trustee Sheehan.
Here.
Trustee Stewart.
Here.
Trustee Silva. Sorry. President DeCipio.
Here.
A quorum is present, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Before we get started, I'm just going to say a few words. Today was a tough day for the village and the staff, particularly because we lost one of our family members. The funeral and wake today was for Jackie Vaselli, who was in our police department for 15 years. She had a tremendous impact on each and every one of us, and it showed. And I was so proud today at the church ceremony, the way we conducted the LaGrange Park Fire Department, Police Department, and administrative staff and all that were there representing us. I couldn't be more proud of what we showed and how much Jackie meant to each and every one of us. I guess it kind of puts you on a path that you're grateful for what we have and grateful for where we are, and look at each day as a gift now, because Jackie went way, way too early, and we just appreciated everything she did. She was a phenomenal human being, and if you talk to any one of the staff here and chief and the police department and the police officers, they will tell you time and time again what a quality individual Jackie was. So she'll sorely be missed. It's just heartbreaking when you realize how close we are here in the village of LaGrange Park with our administrative staff, the board, and all our departments, that you really see it shine when there's tragedy and there's heartache. But they pull together. I think we're stronger due to Jackie, and we'll always think of her and never forget her, and she's had an impact on all of us. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of our departments, police particularly, and staff for conducting us and showing the public how much she meant to us. So next up on is a proclamation. So I'll get the right Bev, I think. Okay, so Bev is here. And we're going to say a proclamation for Suicide Prevention and Action Month 2022. Whereas September is known globally as Suicide Prevention Month, the National Suicide Prevention and Action Month proclamation was created to raise the visibility of the mental health resources and suicide prevention services available in our community. The goal is to start the conversation about mental health and the impact of suicide to help destigmatize the conversation and help connect people with the appropriate support services. And whereas, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults and the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34 in the United States. Whereas more than 48,000 people died by suicide across the United States in 2018, with an average of 132 suicides completed daily. Whereas each and every suicide directly impacts a minimum of 100 individuals, including family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, and community members. And whereas the Village of LaGrange Park publicly places its full support behind those who work in the fields of mental health, education, and law enforcement. Whereas global organizations like Hope for the Day and our local mental health partner, NAMI, serve on the front lines of a war that many still refuse to discuss, as stigma regarding suicide and mental health issues is still too far prevalent. Whereas all residents are encouraged to take the time to understand the importance of mental health education and recognize that taking care of ourselves and others includes taking care of our mental health. Now therefore be it proclaimed, the Village of LaGrange Park does hereby proclaim the month of September 2022 as National Suicide Prevention and Action Month in the Village of LaGrange Park. And I encourage all residents to take the time to check in with their family, friends, and neighbors. Current events have shown how important community is and that reaching out and truly being present for someone struggling can go a long way towards helping them realize that suicide is not the answer and that they are not alone. So therefore, I'd like to introduce Bev, who's with the Suicide Prevention Action Source. So with that, Bev, would you please come up? Thank you.
Thank you.
That's for you, and then you're going to say some words.
Yeah. So thank you for having me, first of all. I love coming to Grange Park. Not only is it close to my home, but close to my heart. So Hope for the Day, we're a 501(c) mental health nonprofit based in Chicago. So I just wanted to say thank you for continuously adopting. It means the world to me. And I just wanted to, again, reiterate, please check in on each other, especially in this hard time for you all. Whether you're first responder, military, veteran, LGBTQ+, identifying, just a neighbor, just a community member, check in on each other. There's resources right here in Grange Park, and there's people that are willing to talk to you, whether it's a good day or a bad day. We all have brains, we all have mental health. Whatever you're going through, we'd much rather hear about it than, go visit you on a Saturday, and, do something else. So please talk to us, and there's always someone willing to listen. So I also have resources. I'll give them out to the council, and they'll be available to you. So if you ever need resources, please check out our website also. There's free resources for everyone. So yeah, thank you for having me, and thank you for the
Thank you, Bev. Okay, next we have a recognition of a resident who has contributed greatly to our community over the years. That is David Mrazek on his retirement from the Sustainability Commission. Rick, would you do the honors, please? That's not working.
There we go. I've had the pleasure of working with Dave for 3.5 years now as a liaison for the village on the Sustainability Commission, and just what a wonderful person, always smiling, it's always willing to help, and if you drive by him on the street, he does not wave or look at you either, so that's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. So tonight we're here to honor a great member, a community member that has served our community for the last 13 years. In 2009, the village board first appointed Dave Mrazek to the Sustainability Commission, formerly the Cool Village Commission. Dave was instrumental in creating the village sustainability plan as presented to the board in 2012. Some of these are Dave's words, so thank you for providing some of these awesome quotes, but over the years, he's had many accomplishments that he is very proud of. One, he has overseen the sustainability Facebook page, which has grown to over 550 followers in the last, what do you think, 10 years? 10 years or so, which is outstanding. And it's not just our community members. There's a lot of surrounding communities that follow our page, and they bring it back to their own communities that have some sort of a similar commission as well. This is quoted. He said, "I've been particularly grateful in helping start the Student Green Team at Ogden Avenue School with committed teachers. The students recycled many things and raised environmental awareness with peers and parents." He's also enjoyed participating in the annual Smashing Pumpkin event on Saturdays following Halloween. This event has saved thousands of pounds of pumpkins from ending up in a landfill versus being recycled as compost. I think he may even have the longest record for the toss, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he hurt that shoulder that day, maybe? No, I'm just kidding. The last one, Dave contributed many articles that have been posted on the village's website over the years, just talking about environmental and sustainable practices, and I know I owe him one still, so it's coming your way. Even though he's stepping down as a commissioner, Dave is still going to support many of the events that we host, and he's also going to continue contributing to the Facebook page as a Emeritus member. And the gentleman behind him, Mark, has taken his place, and they're going to work together and keep the Facebook page going. But Dave, thank you very much for your service to the village, and I'd like you to come up so we can give you a plaque.
Maybe turn it around real quick. Very nice. All right, those are keepers.
Thank you.
I'll make it quick. Well, thanks to Julia. She was our first liaison. It was wonderful working with her low these many years ago. And then Rick for picking up the mantle. And the support from the village, it's been, and working with Patty Rocco was wonderful. And we'll always remember wonderful evenings with her. And our new members, we're new blood. We always need new blood. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, James. Okay, next up we have public participation of agenda-related items only. Would anyone care to address the board? How about the new members of the Sustainability Commission now? Okay, next up, consent agenda. Megan?
Thank you, Mr. President. The items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes, 1, Village Board meeting July 26, 2022. B, action, accounts payable and payroll summary. Motion 1, to authorize the President and Chairperson of the Finance Committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the Treasurer and Village Clerk, to sign checks in payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And motion 2, to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and the next village board meeting, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its next meeting.
Motion to approve consent agenda is presented.
So moved. Second.
Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes. Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Silva?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Moving on next to the village manager's report. Julia?
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. I have just one quick item to report. Last Tuesday, the Village's Planning and Zoning Commission held a meeting where they engaged in citizen planner training. This training was provided by the Chaddock Institute for Metropolitan Development through DePaul University. This particular training was very beneficial, I think, for the commission. We have 2 newer members, 1 brand new member to the commission. It was excellent training. Maggie put it together. Our assistant village manager, Maggie Jar, facilitated the training. It was very good, very well received, and I learned a lot, and it was enjoyable, so I just wanted to make mention of that special training. We do have a copy of the training packet if anybody would like that, and thanks to Maggie for putting it together. And with that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, Administration Committee, Trustee Council.
Thank you, President DeCipio. My report is as follows. Vehicle sticker and dog license renewals. New vehicle stickers and dog licenses will be available for purchase starting September 1, and the deadline for renewal is October 31st on Halloween. Residents are encouraged to renew their stickers and licenses online. Please visit the village's website for more information and call the Village Hall with any questions. Save the dates. The village's annual fall cleanup day will take place on Saturday, October 15th. Eligible residents must purchase 5 refuse stickers from the village and place their items at the curb by 6 a.m. Visit the village's website for more information and a list of acceptable items. Village offices will be closed on Monday, September 5th in observance of Labor Day. Regular office hours will resume on Tuesday, September 6th at 9 a.m. This concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Council. Moving on, Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening from the Building and Zoning Committee area, we have a monthly report as well as one item for discussion and action. First of all, the monthly report. There were 103 building permits were issued in July compared to 105 issued in July of 2021. 587 permits have been issued year to date compared to 633 at this point in 2021. Estimated construction costs for the month were $1,744,201, slightly higher than July of 2021. Permit fees collected were $32,718, also slightly higher than July of 2021. There were 190 inspections were conducted this past July compared to 166 in July of 2021, and 5 inspections were not approved during the month. 1,004 inspections were conducted year to date compared to 1,145 at this point last year. Countryside Animal Hospital opened for business at the beginning of July. Staff had meetings on site with Andy's contractors to resolve some utility conflicts that were discovered. A lot of work related to stormwater was also completed with inspections conducted by the village and the MWRD. Also, foundation work began with some initial concrete inspections conducted. Above ceiling inspections were completed by Patrick for the new memory care unit at Bethlehem Woods as the work neared completion. And work continued and inspections were conducted at the mobile gas station where their concrete aprons, driveways, and filling pads areas were completely replaced. Plymouth Place officially submitted their architectural plans for building permit, which included about 2,500 pages. We also met with Lakeside Consultants, our structural plan review firm, to begin developing a plan for review and potential assistance with some inspections. Also, most of the cottages were removed during the month. Staff met on site at Posta 31 to discuss zoning and building code implications for a proposed semi-permanent structure to be erected during winter months at the rear of the property. And final inspections were conducted and approved for the new Huntington Learning Center space, which was relocated to the Village Market North building. That concludes the monthly report. And on to the one item for discussion and action. Relates to the noise restriction exception requested by Nazareth Academy night football games. In 2015, the Village Board granted Nazareth Academy a variance to install permanent lights on the existing football field. The board's approval was conditioned upon Nazareth Academy hosting no more than 5 night football games per year and obtaining an exception from the village's nuisance regulations in order to operate the sound system past 9 p.m. during those games. Nazareth Academy has submitted a temporary use permit application requesting an exception from the village's nuisance regulations regarding noise for 5 night football games that have been provided as part of our write-up. The games will begin at 7:30 p.m. and are anticipated to conclude by approximately 10:30 p.m. And those dates are Friday, August 26th, Friday, September 2nd, Friday, September 9th, Friday, September 16th, and Friday, September 30th, all of course, this season 2022. Per section 93.04.5 of the Municipal Code, all loud and disordinate noises or vibrations of any kind between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. are classified as nuisances affecting peace and safety. The code allows the village board to approve an exception to the nuisance regulations for temporary uses. If the board approves an exception to nuisance regulations specific to the identified dates, village staff will approve the temporary use permit application. Staff recommends the village board grant a specific exception to the village's nuisance regulations. So I would like to submit a motion to grant an exception to the nuisance regulations contained in section 93.04.c.5 as amended of the Village Municipal Code for the purpose of allowing Nazareth Academy to operate a sound system until 10:30 p.m. on August 26th, September 2nd, September 9th, September 16th, and September 30th, 2022.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Discussion. Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will defer to one quick question just to confirm that we have not received residential complaints during previous years by approving this ordinance, just to confirm that?
Not that I can recall.
Yeah, and that I think's been my recollection of it, so as such, I would certainly support this.
Great. Any other trustees have any other comments?
Yes, President DeCipio, I'd like to say
Yes,
that
trustee council.
we're very blessed to have Nazareth be a part of our community, and I know they work tirelessly to help the neighbors and to be a good neighbor to LaGrange Park. And I also feel that we need to be a little more proud of who they are and what they've done for our community. And they've also taken state championships a couple of times with their football program. So I'm fully supportive of their initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee council. Any other comments? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Silva?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
And that concludes the report and action item from the building zoning area.
Thank you, trustee Lautner. Engineering capital projects, trustee Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hancock Engineering continued work on the lead water service replacement program. The initially targeted area for the survey consisted of 471 residences. To date, surveys at 391 of these residents have been conducted, which is an 83% response rate. A booth was provided at the National Night Out event on Saturday, July 30th, to answer residents' questions and encourage them to participate in an online survey or to schedule an appointment for Hancock to inspect their service for them. Overall, the village now has data on 2,727 of 4,124 services, which is 66.1% of the system. Appointments and inspections will continue throughout the summer and early fall. All municipalities are required to submit a final inventory of their lead water services to the Illinois EPA by April 15, 2024. Bids were received for the 26th Street Resurfacing project. The lower bid was M&J Asphalt Paving Company, Inc., with a bid of $422,564. After the project was awarded and contract approved, construction will begin in September and will be completed this construction season. The project involves replacing sections of damaged curb, replacing pavement, replacing or reconstructing deteriorated drainage structures, and resurfacing the street between Kimmon Avenue and Maple Avenue. Project specifications and a cost estimate were prepared for the 2022 MFT patching program. The documents were submitted to Idot for review and approval. Once approved by Idot, the project will then be led for bidding. The project involves voluminous pavement patching on streets throughout the village that have structural defects or were dug up for water main repairs. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, trustee Stewart. Moving on to the Public Safety Committee, trustee Silva.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the Police Department summary of activities for July 2022. The total number of crimes this year are lower than last year at this time, with 185 reported this year compared to 265 last year. At this time last year, the PD was still inundated with COVID-19 unemployment-related scams. Traffic enforcement is at 1,633 total tickets issued through July of 2022. Overall police activity is 53.6% higher to last year, with 1,300 total incidents reported in the month of July of 2022, compared to 750 total incidents in July of 2021. Of those 1,300 total incidents, 84 were assists to the fire department, 485 were self-initiated building or park checks, 185 were traffic stops, and 46 were closed home checks. 12 members of our police department took part in rapid deployment training that was hosted by the Illinois Tactical Officers Association at LT North. Department members took part in 248.5 hours of training throughout the month of July of 2022. I attended the National Command course hosted, there's a typo there. Chief Contoy attended the National Command course hosted by the FBI in Quantico, Virginia, July 11th through the 15th. This course focused on emotional intelligence, strategic leadership, of officer wellness, ballistics, and targeted violence. This course is offered to chiefs of agencies that employ 50 sworn officers and under. On July 30th, the Grange Park PD hosted the first ever National Night Out Fest in Memorial Park. The event ran from 12 to 9 p.m. and was well attended throughout the day. Special thanks to all that helped make this event successful. Please follow the police department on our Facebook page at LaGrange Park Police Department or our Twitter account at LaGrange Park PD and Instagram at LaGrange Park PD. A friendly reminder about securing one's personal property at all times. Please lock your vehicles and residences, especially during overnight hours. If you are going on vacation, please utilize the new online vacation watch portal, frontlinepss.com/LaGrange Park, or log on to the village website and access the portal under the police department page. If you do not have internet access, feel free to fill out a vacation watch card at the PD between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Moving on to the fire department activities for July 2022. EMS incidents this month, 148. There have been 1,012 year-to-date compared to 994 year-to-date in 2021. Fire rescue incidents this month, 60. There have been 347 year-to-date compared to 300 year-to-date in 2021. Personnel participated in 3 Independence Day parades in neighboring communities. Staff worked throughout the month investigating the potential of obtaining a Pierce demo pumper, traveling to Pierce to evaluate one, and working throughout the month with Pierce and their dealer on details. After some back and forth and a lot of work, we were pleased to be able to bring the purchase to the village board for approval. We plan to take delivery by November. Firefighters provided 3 pop-up/pad events for Park District programs. Staff conducted fire, sprinkler, and fire alarm testing for the new Huntington Learning Center and conducted a final fire inspection for occupancy. Also, a fire sprinkler inspection was conducted for a remodeled 6th floor unit at Plymouth Place, and an inspection was conducted for the new memory care unit at Bethlehem Woods. Staff participated in MAVIS 10 hazmat training at the U.S. EPA regional facility in Willowbrook. FD personnel assisted with National Night Out Fest, conducting various inspections and assistance, providing EMS coverage, and setting up a type obstacle course for kids. On Sunday, July 10th at 9:45 a.m., firefighters assisted with getting a dog out of Salt Creek, which appeared to be struggling in the mud and not getting back to the shore. On Wednesday, July 13th at 4:50. Sorry, this concludes my report. Sorry.
You're doing good there, Trustee Silva.
They just.
Okay, thank you,
Sorry.
Trustee Silva. Yeah, next time just finish it, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, Public Works Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Staff repaired 1 water main break this month and replaced a lead water service line in cooperation with a resident homeowner. Brush pickup took place the first week in July, with crews making at least 1 pass down each street in town. Tree removals took place at various village locations. These trees were the result of storm damage or being found dead or diseased. Tree removals will continue throughout the year. The annual arbor ceremony took place on July 15th. A Princeton elm tree was planted in memory of past village trustee Patricia Rocco along the bike path on Edgewood Lane. Public Works completed lockout tagout training provided by Irma. Staff helped prepare for the NNO event on July 30th. It was a great event put on by the PD and all parties involved. Street and Parkway restorations continued from previous utility excavations. GIS work has continued collecting data on village-owned assets along with continued training throughout the village. Water meters were read in Section 1. 15 monthly bacterial samples were taken, along with stage 2 samples. Various water and sewer work orders were completed, along with resident tree concerns and general construction inquiries. Routine maintenance of the department's fleet and equipment was performed, as well as police and fire vehicles. Next, Mr. President, I have contract award 26th Street resurfacing project. As my esteemed colleague touched upon earlier, M&J Asphalt was awarded the contract. General background, the village engineer developed project plans and specifications for a contractor's bulletin request for advertisement and was published in the Idot bulletin for 2 consecutive weeks. A bid opening was held on August 2nd at 10 a.m. 4 bids were received for this project. M&J Asphalt Paving Company came in at $422,564. And you see A-Lamp in their price, Chicagoland Paving and Schroeder Asphalt, their price. The engineer's estimate was $389,665. As part of the project, the following is the scope of the work: repair, reconstruct efficient drainage basins, sewer inspection, and water main manholes. Spot curb replacement to promote proper drainage. New aprons as needed adjacent to curb replacement. Grind off the top layer of asphalt. Spot repair poor subbase. Install asphalt leveling and surface material. Sod is needed and pavement markings. The low bid was 8.4% higher than the engineer's estimate. This is due to the current market conditions, instability of material pricing, as well as the recently settled quarry strike. In addition, additional items were included in the base bid to allow for any unforeseen field changes that may present themselves during construction, which could cause an overall contract price reduction if these items, particular items, were not needed. The project is included in the fiscal year 2022-2023 fiscal year budget in the MFT Fund 270-70-80100. Staff recommendation is that village engineer Mark Volk and staff recommend accepting the lowest bid from M&J Asphalt Paving Company, Inc. for $422,564 at tonight's meeting. Therefore, Mr. President, I make a motion to accept the lowest bid from M&J Asphalt, Inc. in the amount of $422,564 and to authorize the village manager to execute the necessary contract documents.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, that section of road is probably our worst in town. It desperately needs attention. M&J is a proven IDOT certified paving contractor. You heard the explanation on the engineer's estimate and the difference. I support this and I look forward to the project's completion.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Rick, any comments?
Yeah, looking forward to get this project underway and get completed before the end of construction season here. It's long overdue, that's for sure. Again, with the increased costs, I mean, we've seen this numerous times now on a lot of these big construction companies. We just had a pre-construction meeting yesterday with Idot about 31st or Grange Road, and K5 is wanting to extend that contract until spring of next year, not even try to complete it this year because of the strike and how backed up they are. So we're hopeful that we can even get this project in right now. So
great, thank you, Rick. Mark, any comments?
Yeah, I think the original budget amount back in January was $350,000 for construction, and then as things broke out in Europe and all the different supply chains and strikes and things, it inched its way upward. Hence the increase, and then the next item for the supplemental resolution. But yeah, I expect to get it done this year, and looking forward to it.
Great, thank you. Any comments from the board? Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, I certainly understand. I mean, I know these are difficult times for lots of different reasons. Critical project, no question. Typically, engineering estimates and how they come in have been just, historically have been just really very close. And this obviously comes as a surprise. I guess my question is is this something that we're going to have to look forward to? I know you can't necessarily predict how things are going to turn out on a lot of these projects, but it is disappointing. That's not a personal, comment. It's, when you see these things in historically how accurate they have been, knowing the conditions that you're dealing with, do we need to prepare ourselves for many more of these?
Of course, it's hard to predict, but the way it looks now, these prices may be the near-term future until things settle down. So we may be faced with these higher, 10% higher prices.
And it seems that, understanding that, I think we're just going to be prepared to, stay on top of it as much as we can for budget exceptions, which I know we don't like to do, but do what we have to do, and any areas that we can manage costs, which I know our staff always does. But it's a good wake-up call, I think, to see that the impact of these, and again, I think that the estimates and how the bids have come in historically have been, just almost right on, and oftentimes just estimate a little higher, and the staff has been able to negotiate even reduced price. So just waving the flag that I think that we're all attuned to, that we're just going to have to be focused on, these situations that hopefully won't lead to too many budget exceptions and or just tightening where we can to meet the budget. But yeah, thanks for your clarification of that, and I understand the issues that are driving this, but certainly understand the importance of the project and support it too.
Yeah, one more comment. Again, based upon this, what we're seeing right now, this is our only big project for the year. We don't have a water main project, anything like that. So this is a good learning curve for us moving forward in the future. So, we could start looking at these numbers again, earlier before budget season. But again, even when we do budget things, we're budgeting them, way in advance, thinking that this is what's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden we have a major change in the world. So, again, Mark has done a really good job. Hancock has done a really good job at estimating. We've always come in super low under budget, which has always been good. So this is just a unforeseen fluke here. So,
thank you.
Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Silva?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan.
Next, we have the Idot Supplemental Resolution 26th Street Resurfacing Project. Purpose is to approve a supplemental resolution with the Illinois Department of Transportation to increase the project cost by $66,000 from the Motor Fuel Tax Fund for the upcoming resurfacing project. General background: in June 2022, the Village Board approved a resolution with IDOT for $403,000 to utilize motor fuel tax dollars for the 26th Street resurfacing project. This amount covers construction and engineering. Recently, staff opened bids for the project, which were greater than the engineer's estimate. Based on the recommendation to award this project, the village must approve a supplemental resolution to authorize the overage. The village is seeking an additional $66,000 to fund this project. The overage covers construction cost only. The MFT fund balance will cover the overage. Hancock Engineering has prepared a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for this project. Staff recommends approval of this document. Therefore, Mr. President, I make a motion at this time, motion to adopt a resolution for improvement under the Illinois Highway Code for the expenditure of an additional $66,000 in MFT funds.
All right, motion, do I have a second? Motion and second. Discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
And thank you, Mr. Pratt. I don't think there's anything else more to say that we've already discussed.
Any other comments from any of the board members? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Silva?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Moving on, Finance Committee, Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. From the finance area this evening to report on the first quarter of the fiscal year that's behind us. So as of the end of July, fiscal year to date, general fund revenue is at 19.5% of the annual budget and about $425,000 or 26.1% greater than last year. Property tax receipts are down about $30,000 or 47.1% compared to the prior year. The delay in the Cook County property tax assessment review and appeal process due to a computer system conversion may result in second installment tax bills, which are normally issued by June 30 with payment due August 1st, not being issued until the calendar fourth quarter. Finance will continue to monitor this matter and keep the board informed. Other local taxes were higher by approximately $20,000 or 9.7%. As a category, intergovernmental receipts were higher by about $195.9 thousand or 20.1% compared to last year. The primary components of intergovernmental receipts and their performance are summarized as follows. Income tax receipts for July were nearly $32,300 or 17.9% higher than last year, while income tax receipts for the first quarter were $156,600 or 25.7% greater than last year. Sales tax receipts were $2,200 or 3.1% more than last year, and first quarter receipts were $8,700 or 4.1% higher. Use tax receipts have remained steady compared to last year and are 0.5% higher. Excise or telecommunications tax, as anticipated, continue to decline. For the quarter, receipts have fallen $2,800 or 7%. License revenues were down $5,500 from last year. Vehicle stickers sales begin shortly and will increase collections in this category. Permit receipts were up $57,900 or 48.3% for the comparable period of fiscal year 2022. The increased amount is primarily attributable to three significant projects: Plaza Street Partnership LLC for Andy's Custard, Tranquility Builders, and Plymouth Place. Charges for services are higher by $14,000 or 6.7% versus the comparable period last year. Fine revenue was lower by $5,700 or 16.5% as compared to the prior year. The pandemic has impacted court fine receipts, and the state comptroller has suspended its collections of past due amounts for those eligible based on reported income. Miscellaneous revenue was $23,200 greater than last year, primarily due to funds raised as police contributions in support of the National Night Out celebration. Total general fund expenditures, excluding the transfer to the Capital Projects Fund, were at 20.9% of the annual budget and 88.1% or 4.5% higher than last year. And most importantly, all departments are within budget expectations. That concludes the finance report for the first quarter of this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Okay, other reports. Our village clerk.
I have no report this evening, Mr. President.
Our village treasurer is coming, I know it. I feel it. He's going to be here soon, or she. Commercial Revitalization Committee, Trustee Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. President. Streetscape Improvement Plan, our next meeting for this Streetscape Improvement Plan will take place on Wednesday, September 7th from 6 to 8 at the Grange Park Public Library. This event will include a series of informative and interactive engagement stations to give community members an opportunity to provide input on potential streetscape designs. Drop in anytime between 6 and 8 to learn more about the project and provide your feedback. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Village engineer?
No report, Mr. President.
Our village attorney?
I have no report, Mr. President.
Motion to approve committee and collectors reports as presented.
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I have a couple items on my list here. First, September work session, we will include a combined meeting with the Police Pension Board. Jason Franken from Foster & Foster, our actuarial firm, will present the police pension funds and the annual actuarial report. So that's the work session in September. You know, I was going to the West Central Municipal Conference, has their meetings, annual meeting every year, and I was going, and all these communities are getting awards, and LaGrange Park, we're sitting there looking and watching and clapping. And finally, we broke the ice a couple years ago. Our own Julia Cedillo has received the Jack Williams Intergovernmental Leadership Award. And so that broke the ice. So now that the ice is broken, this year on September 13th, the West Central Municipal Conference is having their annual session, and we are going to get an award. And we are going to get the Green Intelligence Award for our project. And Rick, hopefully everybody's going to be there, and we're all going to be there and have a great time, and you guys are going to present and thank the West Central Municipal Conference for selecting us as the award winners, because it's a great project, and we're going to be so proud to be up there. So thank you, and thank your department and staff, and Maggie, thank you. And you're going to go up there, and you guys are all going to look pretty and say some nice things, and we'll all be good. And
She doesn't get to speak too often.
okay, we will let her do it then. Okay. So congratulations to us and to the village, and for all the hard work that we do, and we're being recognized, and that's a wonderful thing. So thank you all. Any new business? Seeing none, motion to move into closed session?
I'd like to make a motion to move into closed session for the purpose of discussing, 1, the selection of a person to fill a village commission/committee according to 5 ILCS 120/2C3, and 2, for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2C1.
Second.
Motion is second. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart? Trustee Silva?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. We'll move into executive session.